Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is the mental wellness channel, Higgs, aka Wahiga. Welcome back. Thank you so much to my subscribers, you guys. Thank you for the love, the support that I got in my previous videos. My rape story and my narcissistic ex. Thank you so much for the comments, the calls, the texts. Thank you. Today I want to talk about how to get out of an abusive relationship and how to identify that you're in an abusive relationship. I didn't know that I was in an abusive relationship, and I knew it felt wrong. I knew that my energy was really low whenever I'd leave this person. I knew I felt drained. I knew I felt tired. I felt upset. But I couldn't train myself. I couldn't look and see that, this is abuse. In my mind, this was my husband to be, okay? This was a serious relationship. This relationship had to work. And so I ignored a lot of the red flags. I ignored how he spoke to me, how he treated me, especially in private. I ignored all these facts to the point that I stopped talking. I was walking on eggshells for so long that I just felt like avoiding him altogether was the best thing. And that's really sad because I feel like a lot of us stay in abusive relationships, or we just stay in relationships just for the sake of it. For the sake of the title, I'm someone's girlfriend, I'm in a long-term relationship. I'm in a marriage. But the quality of that relationship is so poor. We wouldn't let our friends treat us like this. We wouldn't let our parents treat us like this. And yet we let our significant others treat us like this. I have sat here and watched hours and hours and hours of YouTube videos of women who have sat down, switched on the camera just like I have, and told their rape stories, and told their abuse stories, and told their domestic violence stories. And it is heart-wrenching to see how so many people go through this. Just go onto YouTube and type in my abuse story, my rape story, and see how many women, men, people will share their stories. And the uncanny similarities. A really difficult thing for me to realize about this whole situation is that no one was coming to save me. I had to save myself. I had to save myself from this situation. It took me 3 times to leave this relationship. I left after the rape, and I have not gone back, nor will I go back. On average, people that are in abusive relationships, domestic violence situations, It takes them 7 times to leave before they actually leave for the last time. 7 times. That's 7 times of breaking up, leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back, 7 times on average. And if these relationships don't end, they end up in death. In Kenya, the femicide numbers are through the roof. Women get raped and killed so often. It's disgusting. I don't know about you, but I want to live in a world with no sexual violence. I don't want another woman, another child, another person to go through what the hell I went through. And I believe that we can live in a world where there is no sexual violence. Call me crazy, call me naive, but I have to believe in the unbelievable. Because this world of rape culture, this world of everybody's having sex but nobody knows the rules, is not for me. Abusive relationships. Why I say you have to save yourself is because nobody is going to hold an intervention for you. Your friends, your family, like, it's so unlikely that people are going to sit down and hold an intervention for you and tell you that you need to leave. First of all, your first instinct is to protect your relationship and to protect your partner. I was extremely protective of my partner at the time. I really was. And that's what kept me holding back. I never really told the full truth or the full extent of the abuse to one person. I would say he did this, he did that, bits and pieces. Because I was so concerned about his reputation. And I wanted to protect him. Because I was with him. And so the first thing, if anybody came to me and told me, I think you're in an abusive relationship and I think you need to leave, I would have said, you're crazy, not my man, and bye. You're probably jealous. That's unfortunate. But you're the one going through the abuse. So you will have to see it. You will have to acknowledge it. You will have to come to terms with it. And you will have to make a decision as to whether you will stay or you will go. Because you can make a decision. I know that abusers enforce in us that myth that our power is gone, our voice is gone, so you can't leave. Where are you going to? Who's going to want you after me? Who will believe you? They really say that over and over again. Or they instill in you this sense of self-doubt and worthlessness, that you don't think that you can make it on your own. And that's such a lie, because you can. You really can. And then when you try to leave, they can sense that you're trying to leave. So they manipulate you. Something this person used to say was, they would threaten suicide. And they'd threaten suicide in the sense that if I ever leave Kenya, if I ever go back home, I'm going back like in a pine box. I will never go back to my home country alive. I don't care what anybody says, but my higher power knows me, and he knows that it is not my will to go back to my home country. I would rather die. He's telling this to someone who has actually experienced suicidal ideations and tendencies, and who has attempted to take her life many times. I've been hospitalized. If you've watched my channel, I've been hospitalized about 4 times, 3 or 4 different times, because of suicidal ideations and depression. So I'm someone who's very familiar with suicidal thoughts and how serious they are. As far as I know, he is very much alive. He would say things like, I love you so much. You mean the world to me. My life is so dark and you're the only bright spot in it. How are you going to break up with someone who's just said that to you? Nothing in my life is working out right now. All the chips are down. But our relationship is the best thing that's happening for me. So he could sense whenever I was pulling away and whenever I was done. And he'd say things like that. I'm someone who takes suicide talk very seriously, because I've been through it. And I know how deep that abyss can go. And for him to use that as a manipulative tool to make himself to be the victim, so that I could stay and support him. Is completely disgusting to me. When the manipulation doesn't work, they can use violence. They can go around smearing your name, telling fake stories or lies about you to other people, to friends that you have in common, and just making up lies. What I've seen happen, people that we know in common are really nowhere to be seen. That is very okay with me. I am better off, honestly. I don't know if a smear campaign has gone around. I really don't care. They just use all sorts of manipulative tactics to scare you into submission. Another thing they do is to make you think that your voice is gone, that you are powerless, that you no longer have a voice to speak with. The day you stand up and you speak the truth about what has been going on behind those closed doors is the day that you will gain your power back. That is what happened to me. The day you speak your truth, the day you speak about the things they did to you in the privacy of your homes, just to someone else, to a trusted friend, to a psychologist, in therapy, wherever you are, the day that someone else validates and hears the abusive nature and the things that you've been going through, and someone tells you that is not normal, what you're going through is not normal, is the day that you will wake up. It's the day you will realize that it was all a lie. Maybe you won't leave that day, but start making plans. Start making plans to leave. Because when you are in a relationship with an abuser, things will never get better. Things will always get worse and progressively worse. And most definitely fatal. People who are controlling and manipulative and toxic. People who try and twist your reality, who tell you what to eat, what music to listen to, what movies to watch, who tell you your taste in fashion or in music is bad. People who question your very being. Even friends who are like that. Those people, they don't ever get enough. They don't ever get enough. And those are not acts of love. Those are acts of hatred. When an abuser senses that you've had a bit too much of their abuse, they will put on the charm again. They will start to be the nice guy. The person that you fell in love with, that is who they will start to be again. And you'll be like, you see, this is the guy that I fell in love with, guys. This is him. You know, I've been waiting 6 months for this guy to show up, and here he finally is. He'll show up for 12 hours, and poof, he'll be gone. To be the abusive monster for the next 18 months, who's going to drive you insane. I'm very open with the fact that I have bipolar type 2 disorder. And this is something that my ex used to like using against me. My own mental disorder. I don't know what's wrong with you these days, but your moods, you know, I don't know how bipolar works, you know, but your moods have just been iffy, you know. And this would coincide with the days that I don't agree with him, with the days I'm standing up for myself, with the days I'm just not taking his BS. All of a sudden, my bipolar is acting up. All of a sudden, have you seen your doctor lately type of questions. Guys, I haven't been to the hospital this year. That is amazing. I was hospitalized 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. And this is the first year I haven't been hospitalized, so don't you dare call me crazy. Don't you dare call me crazy. I didn't have a mental break this year. I wasn't in a mental institution this year. And that's okay if you are. Abusers push us to the point of completely breaking mentally. I don't even mind being called the crazy one, honestly. As long as I know I'm lucid and I'm sober, that's all that matters to me. I know the truth. I know what happened to me. So using my bipolar against me was classic narcissist. Classic. You know, they take your things they see as weaknesses. For me, vulnerability is a huge, huge strength. For a narcissist, vulnerability is a weakness. Sharing my story about being bipolar is something I find strength in, because there's strength in numbers and there's strength in sharing. And why go through a problem alone when I can share it with other people? Why? But when they see something as a weakness, it's the first thing they horn on. I don't see my bipolar diagnosis as a weakness. I don't. It makes me more colorful. You know, just add to the CV. So to try use bipolar against me, and you know, the snide remarks, the belittlement, the humiliating remarks. When's the last time you saw your doctor? Because you're acting up. What does that mean? When's the last time you took your medications? I take my medications every day. Thank you very much. This has nothing to do with my bipolar. Maybe it has something to do with your incredibly abusive antics towards me. So what I would suggest is save yourself. Nobody is coming for you. Nobody's coming to save you. Not your family, not your friends, not your co-workers, not your church. Nobody's coming to save you. Because one, as a survivor of this, you're guarded. I was guarded. So in no way, I wouldn't have listened to anyone if they had told me that I was in an abusive situation. I would not have listened. 2, talk. Talk about the normal things that happen in your household. When you're paying for things that you shouldn't be paying for, why are you fueling someone else's car? You know, I'm asking myself that question. Now I'm asking myself that question. If I say this out loud to, let's say, my parents or my cousins or friends, yeah, they would be like, yeah, that's weird. But to me, it was perfectly normal. So these little behaviors or these big behaviors that you think are normal, question those and talk about them to other people. If your gut tells you this is wrong, it is simply wrong. You cannot convince your gut otherwise. Your gut feeling is always right. It is always right. Start making a plan as to how you're going to move. Start making a plan as to when you're leaving. Make a plan. And don't wait for anyone to come and save you, because no one's coming to save you. You know your situation. If he is physically abusive, look for a safe house. I think Usikimye is a great safe house that you can look for. Look for other NGOs or safe houses that you can go to. Panga, plan. ways that you're going to get out of this. If he has raped you, if this rape is fresh within 72 hours, do not wash yourself. Do not take a shower. Do not wash your clothes, the clothes that you were raped in. Go straight to a free clinic. Just Google rape clinics in Kenya or Nairobi. Go straight there. Get and request for a P3 form. After that, take that straight to the police. At least you will have evidence as to what has happened. If it's a financially abusive relationship, start saving money. Mshwari. Whether it's 50 bob a week. Start a chama with your friends. Start something. If you have children with this person, I pray for you the hardest, because this is going to be hard. But you will have to set up boundaries like you will not believe. But there is a way that you can leave this person. FIDA. FIDA is also a legal institution in Kenya. It's about women attorneys who advocate for women who don't have the money or the means to take their cases through the court system. And I think they can help. Do your research. Look for NGOs. Google ways that you can get support. But you have to save yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. I had to save myself. I had to save myself. God and I had to save myself. It ended when I said it ended. It will end for you when you say enough is enough. I'll look for all the information of FIDA, of Usikimye. I'll put them down in the description box. Thank you so much for sticking through this video for this long. And these are conversations that I'm pulling out like this because I'm exhausted. I've been sitting on these issues for so long and I'm so tired. You know, I'm so tired. And I just want to talk about this. I just want to talk about it. And I want to hopefully empower just one person. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.